Hey, what's going on? Saw UFO here, and haha, another commentary. Hee. um, what should I talk about today? Let's see. I talked about the world ending yesterday. Let's talk about free will. It's been a big discussion or big topic in my English class lately, and I kind of want to talk about it. So free will, what is it? What is free will really? Free will, in my opinion, is having the choice to do anything you want to do and not being or not your choice not being influenced by others. Um, yeah, free will. It's kind of weird, but in my opinion, no one on Earth has free will. We've lost it. The only things that really have free will are animals, in my opinion. Um, yeah, I think animals are the only ones with free will because, well, no one really influences them to do anything. They do what they want to do. They live in a free territory, or what is presumed to be a free territory. I know that we most likely control the territory, as humans, but in my opinion, they have more free will than we do. If you think about it, we don't have free will because when you're like from 1 through what 20, you go to college, you go to school. I mean, it could be your choice to go to school. Um, in my opinion, not everyone wants to be in school every single day. Yes, they probably want to be in school, but they don't want to be in school every day. You're being kind of forced to go to school, so that's why that's one reason you don't have free will. You're kind of forced to go to school. Um, Especially during during elementary school to middle school, where you're forced to go to school. Because if you don't go to school, then your parents get in trouble. High school is different, meaning you can choose not to go to school, but you know that's gonna be retarded not to go to school because then you're not gonna have a future. Um, but otherwise, you kind of don't have free will in that sense. Also, in school, and especially in high school, when you choose your schedule, you don't necessarily have free will in your schedule. Yes, you choose the classes you want to be in. Yes, from last year's grades, it depend your classes this year all depend on the grades that you got last year, and that was all up to you. You could have failed or you could have got straight A's depending on how good of a student you were. But it's all up to you. It's but the classes you choose or you get into are somewhat not your it's not your decision, kind of, because your teachers are the ones that gave you the grades. They could have some bias against you, or they could hate you and give you grades that aren't real. They could be pulling a fast one on you, and when you deserve a B, they gave you a C or something like that. But it's all up to the teacher, which is kind of not free will because the teacher is deciding your fate. Also, I was talking about the schedule. Your guidance counselors are the ones that like make your day. I mean, you don't go in there and say, I want like math first period. I want this first period. I want something easy in the first period, and then I want the harder ones later on, where I'm kind of like I'm on top of my game. No, you don't get to choose that. Instead, your guidance counselors choose that for you. In which case, you don't have control of your day anymore. You have completely lost control of your day. Um, it's kind of interesting but weird, but true. Um, you don't even get to choose your teachers, which is annoying because some teachers are really good, and obviously you'd like to choose them. I have some good teachers this year, but then again, there are teachers that are really really bad and new to this school. I have one of those teachers. My English teacher isn't the greatest. She is awful. She is like a 21. Nah, not 21. Sorry, you have to be older than 23. Well, she's like 25 years old, and I think she's Canadian. And she is just an awful teacher. She's brand new to this school, first year of teaching, doesn't even know what she's doing. She's awkward when she goes up and talks. She's like, so let's do something today, guys. Yeah, let's do this. And she literally describes everything in this manner. She goes up there. Let's say we're reading Beowulf. She'll be like, and in this scene, Beowulf does this, and yeah, later he does this, and oh yeah, that's fun, right? And she has no emotion in her, in her voice, in her face, in her movement. There's no emotion. There's nothing. She's just this monotone freak. Okay, monotone freak. Um, but continuing about the free will, the government somewhat controls this too in how much money we make and how much, you know, and what we can do, you know, with laws and everything. I know you could break the laws, and that's your own choice, but being that the laws are there to scare you, I doubt one would, because, well, you know, that would be stupid. Um, you don't really want to break the law. If you know the consequences, you don't break the law. Um, yeah, so there's another way that, you know, the government influences you not to do something, and that, in my opinion, is not free will. You shouldn't be influenced to do or make decisions. Another thing. Let's see, what else. What else takes away free will? Everything really. Time is a very good example. Time takes away free will. I mean, if you didn't have a schedule, then you don't have to worry about time. But since everybody has a schedule, you have to worry about time. Time is the ultimate control. I mean, if it strikes 7 o'clock, you have to leave to go to school. You have to leave to go to work. I mean there are specific numbers on the clock that represent something for everybody. For my sister, it'd be 10 o'clock because that's when she has to go to work. 10 o'clock. Every time it's 10 o'clock, it's like, oh great, now I have to go to work. Every time it's 7 o'clock for me, I know I'm like, I have to go to school. And it sucks every time. It's like, every time an hour strikes, someone in the world somewhere is like, oh great, now I have to do this. And it's pretty odd. Time controls us pretty well. If we control time, then, you know, maybe we'd be awesome. We could bend time. We can go back in time. We'd be Doctor Who. Doctor Who. But that, yeah. So I mean, I want your opinion in the comments. Just go down there, right now, into the comments section. Right. Go down there. You know, type some letters, type some sentences, words, periods, commas. I want your opinion on free will. Does it exist? What's your take on free will? What would you define it as? Yeah, so please comment that in the comment section below. Otherwise, I have not much more to say. Oh.